Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your mid-month checkpoint. This is for the month of March. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh, and I'm really appreciative for your patience and understanding. I had some health issues that I needed to deal with for the first couple weeks of the month. That's why this is later. That's why we're doing a mid-month check-in instead. But this is a great way for us to see how everything's going and course correct as needed. I always like to begin with Apollo because, speaking of stress and self-management, he helps. He's sleeping, so we'll just give him a quiet pat on the head. All right, let's begin. So, for your channeled messages for this mid-month checkpoint, what came through was actually a tarantula, which is a seemingly bizarre symbol to come through, but to me it represents grace. It is because if you've ever watched one move, they are very, very sort of careful and slow and deliberate. And I want to start with that. We can ascribe this to, or kind of connect this to, the energy of planning and making sure that whatever move you make, it's a good use of time, energy, money, and even just mental real estate. So being deliberate about conversations, connections, decisions, choices overall. This is a great period of time to simply plan and think. Now, there's a deceptive nature to the tarantulas. They seem slow, but they actually can move quite quickly when they're hunting. And so this is a month where you don't want to sprint through the entire month, go, go, go. It's about calculated bursts of energy. There may be a couple of days here or there where you have to constantly be on the go, and then you're going to regulate and take care of yourself, much like I did a couple weeks ago. And this is going to allow you to have more to give later, and also to be able to make it through the month and check off everything on your to-do list. If you do a little research on tarantulas, they can spin silk, but they don't make a web like a traditional spider. They kind of live in a burrow, and they use the web to kind of create that space. So they're also connected with the hermit because of that sort of hiding energy. And so you have this planning, discerning, researching energy that I would also connect with the hermit, but then these moments where you have to come out of your shell, do a lot, and then go back. Make sure that you're giving yourself ample time for the recharging. So that could be meditation, it could be exercise, doing something that you love, reading a book, gardening, something slightly solitary, slightly immersive that is going to give you the ability to digest what you've been through, to open up without the noise of phones and TVs and everything else that we kind of are tapped into in this modern world. Because daydreaming and allowing your thoughts to wander are really important. Slowing the pace down until you have to speed it up. That's the big takeaway for the tarantula. And it's a cool sort of symbol to come through. I like to occasionally walk around some of the hiking places here in LA, and you will occasionally see a tarantula because they are native to California. So I love that symbol, and I hope that helps you out. Pace yourself, plan, and pick and choose your moments to speed up wisely. Now let's take a look and see what additional messages want to come through as we shuffle the cards. One last note, by the way, please, if you enjoy this, do me a favor, like and subscribe. This will be a little bit more concentrated than usual, so if you want to book a reading, you can also check out my website for more information about rates and availability. Let's begin. All right, please take a moment, close your eyes. Whatever's in your head right now, just let it go as you take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Imagine the sun is shining directly overhead, creating a halo of safety around you. And let's call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters as we see what this mid-month check-in is going to reveal. I'm using a new deck. I'll make sure to put a link to it below. This is an indie deck. Interesting. All right, give me 1 second to get this all aligned so we can see it, because I'm a neat freak. All right, there we go. Let's get started with your catalyst. This particular catalyst is almost like an answer to the Four of Cups, where the person is sitting there like that, frustrated, wondering, why can't I have what they have, or why aren't things working out? So this says, I'm unafraid and free. It's a blessing to be me. In other words, don't compare yourself to someone else. Don't even compare yourself too harshly to a goal that you might have set a year ago or a decade ago. You're precisely where you need to be right now. And you are free to make any sort of pivot or change. You can change your mind, etc. The fear thing is aspirational, so I'm unafraid. If you're not, if you're feeling some fear, deal with the fear in any way, shape, or form that you can. Talk to someone, research it, give yourself time to understand it, because oftentimes getting informed is a great way to deal with the fear or the anxiety. But ultimately, focusing on the blessings, maybe even leaning into them and leading the day off with a blessing. I'm blessed to be here, to be able to breathe, to be able to eat, to be able to talk to my friends, like the basic stuff that we all take for granted. Start with gratitude and blessings and see if that doesn't start to open up opportunities in your life. Okay, so let's see what's going on with you this month. Overall, what I see here is pretty good. There is a challenge in the environment. We'll get to that in a moment, but I want to start at the very beginning with the Seven of Wands. You are busy. There's a lot going on. So the Seven of Wands is a card of multitasking, and sometimes having to stand up for yourself or, delegate or just make sure that there's not too much coming through. So here we see a hill where a bunch of people are trying to get some of your time, your energy, your attention, and you're at the top saying, wait a second, I can help you, but I can't help you. I can do this, but that's going to have to wait. So being very mindful, being very deliberate, back into the energy again of the tarantula, and this will keep you on high ground. This is going to help you from feeling that sense of being overwhelmed. One nuance that we see even better in the Rider-Waite-Smith card is you don't owe everybody an explanation. Here we see someone getting just a little bit stressed out, trying to constantly be on their feet and tell everyone, well, wait, I did this because of this and that. Sometimes what people think, it's their own business, and you don't have to let that get into your headspace too much. Pick and choose the moments that you want to fight for what matters, and because we see someone up here with that dragon, we know that you have the ability to really conquer any fear when you need to or any challenge, but you don't want to constantly be sort of working to exhaustion or defending yourself nonstop. This card in reverse is saying, take a step back. Let other people also show up and do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes in the desire to make everything okay, sometimes we make it worse because we're doing too much. In fact, we have a beautiful card helping you with that, which is Temperance. Temperance involves meditation, that sort of deliberate energy that we talked about. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, testing the waters, testing the temperature before jumping headfirst into something. And as we can see with the angelic wings here, Spirit has your back. It's trying to help you out. And if you assume that you've got what it takes to make things happen, you're going to be okay. But if you start to get into your headspace a little bit, take on more than you need to, that's when stress sets in. That's when you kind of get in your own way. Temperance also teaches us that Spirit speaks in a whisper. It's not always obvious. You have to meditate, tune in, and take a step back sometimes to get the big picture. So make sure that you're also taking care of yourself, slowing down a little bit and giving yourself that time for reflection. As we take a look at the deep past here, we have the Three of Cups in the reverse position. So Three of Cups is a card of celebration, community, having some fun. There also might be new people entering into the picture. With this reversed, it's actually kind of the opposite of the social butterfly. So perhaps your social schedule or your activities were just off the charts at the beginning of the month and maybe even the previous month, and you want to hermit a little bit because the opposite of the Three of Cups is just kind of keeping it quiet, taking care of yourself, less is more. You may also have a desire to pair off rather than be a part of a larger group, which is fine. One cautionary note, because we just had a card here connected with patience, the Temperance card. This is saying that when it comes to a relationship, And any sort of new connection in your life, whether it's business, friend, or love, it is going to require time. This is typically a slightly indecisive card because it represents courtship, taking your time, dipping your feet in the water, just like we saw with the Temperance Angel. Don't force a connection. The line goes both ways, whether it's email, telephone, or someone knocking on the door. You do your part, let them do their part, and just give things the breathing space that they need. Before we move on, the final message on, temperance is a part of it, actually. Temperance and the Three of Cups reverse are basically saying to moderate, or I should say moderation is key. You don't want to constantly, overdo the work or the fun. Everything has its place and time, which means that less is more, and it's okay right now to take a step back. As we take a look at the recent past here, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the upright position. This represents slow, steady recovery and growth. Many of you have made some strides, whether it's in health or finance, to create some positive traction and movement. Now, if we compare this to the traditional card, you can see a little bit of impatience there, and the reverse is happening here. This person is taking their time, tuning in, really allowing things to mature and grow and move in the time that they need and require. So there still may be a little bit of tendency to rush, but one of the big themes this month is don't rush. Let things happen in the proper time. Seven of Pentacles also encourages you to continue to make wise decisions. So the discernment of the tarantula is coming through, and it's saying be strategic. Do you need to spend this? Do you need to do this? Is this worthy of your time and energy? So when we're also looking at relationships and people in your life, there just may be a little bit more conservative energy on your part before saying yes to an invitation, before going that extra mile, because you're going to look at the history of everything and think, is it balancing out? Balance is another part of this, usually looking at the balancing of energy or numbers. So looking at your accounting, looking at your schedule, and just making sure that you have what you need because you deserve it. All right, in the crowning position, we have the Lovers, which is one of the best cards you can get. It is magnetic, meaning that for many of you, you have this, it's almost like your light is on this month and people are attracted to you, kind of like a moth, right? Flying around a light bulb. So you can bring in new people, new opportunities, new engagements, and if there's anything that you're trying to make happen, turn on that heart light and allow for people to connect with you. The Lovers can also represent new people coming into your life, especially because in the deep past we had the Three of Cups. So there may be a new trusted friend, a new love interest. You may be going deeper in a relationship that already exists, or you could just be using your attractive and persuasive skills like that magnet that I was talking about earlier to make some great things happening. This is also in the crowning position, which reminds you to keep your thoughts in the frequency of love. Love, gratitude, and appreciation really help to attract more of the same. So make sure you're also doing something that you love. To get in the frequency of love, whether it's a hobby or spending time with someone that you love, do that in addition to whatever responsibilities and goals that you have, because this is going to help you get further, farther, faster, plus have a better time in the process. As we take a look at the near future, we have the Five of Swords reversed. If you're going to get this card, it's better to get it in the reverse position. So with this, it's about cutting your losses and not taking the bait, particularly when it comes to tricky people that might be in your life. Here's a traditional illustration, and you can see it a little bit better. We have someone that is trying to kind of like feed off the energy of conflict, arguing. They're not really listening. And if you are working with someone or somehow connected with someone who just isn't ready to talk, they're too sort of reactive, they're too argumentative, it's not worth your time and energy. This can also represent part of the inner saboteur energy coming through, and this is kind of the opposite of a hype person. So a cheerleader or a hype person is going to say, you're amazing, you're doing great, this is going to work. Five of Swords energy is going to come through and say, you're not good enough, you're not experienced enough, you're not whatever the sort of personal feeling of insecurity is enough. And so we're going to dismiss this thought or this energy and say, thanks, but no thanks. I don't believe that anymore. Thank you for reminding me just how ready, talented, able, etc. I am. This is just a test from the universe, really. So if it's a person and they're constantly critical, if it's a person and they don't listen, create some distance. If it's a thought that comes through and it kind of takes the wind out of your sails, this is a reminder to you that it's just not worth the time and energy. So you're going to recognize that and dismiss it. You're coming through with the energy of the Page of Pentacles reversed. So this is a time for you to continue to reach for your goals and invest in yourself. When that pentacle is directed towards you, it means that it's a great time for things like education, self-care, rest, and anything that you really want or desire. And we see that person reaching for the goal. And rather than constantly giving it away to others, you're going to say, this is my moment. It's a page, so pages communicate. And when a Page of Pentacles reverse comes through, it might be communicating a lack of something like, hey, I need help with this. Or it could be showing an opportunity. Hey, I believe in this, and I think this could work. Are you interested? So that page could also be throwing that pentacle out and saying, let's go for this. Are you ready? Okay? So speak up. Your first clear challenge, aside from some of the Five of Swords energy here, is the Devil in reverse. You'll notice if we turn this upright, you can see that this is a big hand or claw, and there's a little person at the center trying to escape the clutches of the devil. So we'll look at this version because it's a little easier to see. Typically when the devil comes through, there's strings attached to something. So in the form of a contract, you want to redline anything that isn't fair, that isn't clear, or simply isn't right or legal. The devil also represents someone who can't quite deliver what you need or want. They're unavailable. So in a relationship, someone might still be married to someone. They're not divorced. Or they can't commit to a long-term relationship. They just want something more ephemeral, which is more of the energy of the Three of Cups. Interestingly enough, this is like a lower version of the Lover's card because it's conditional love. I'll love you, accept you, or hire you, provided that you do this, this, or this. If you change, I'll love you. That's the opposite of the Lovers, which is saying, I love you just the way you are. So you can find something better than what I'm seeing in the environment. Whether it's a friend, a job, an opportunity, or a contract, you're saying, no, thanks, but no thanks. And no is a complete sentence. It's clear, and you don't want to be obscure, obtuse, or just kind of like wishy-washy when the devil energy comes through. You want to absolutely say, this is unacceptable, or just no, full stop, okay? And let me see if there's anything else that I missed. Oh, it can be a temptation. And I love that this artist chose to make the devil handsome, or beautiful if there's other decks that have that, because the devil isn't always going to be something that immediately turns you off, but there's usually something about it that just doesn't pass the test. It's like, I don't think so. I don't feel good about this. Trust your instincts, really pay attention to the strings attached, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be worth whatever you might be getting, and you're reclaiming your power in this moment in time and simply saying, no, thank you, okay? As we take a look here at the environment, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. This, again, is encouraging you to take care of yourself, to splurge a little bit. If we look at the traditional version of the card, you can see lush vines, lots and lots of kind of like opulence and rich energy in this. And what happens sometimes is if you're the kind of person that's like a mama or papa bear where you give and plan and devote yourself to others, eventually the battery goes, to the point of depletion. And so the King of Pentacles in reverse is recharging. And depending on where this shows up, sometimes it just is an indication like I'm seeing now of self-care and a need to protect yourself and recharge yourself. It can also represent someone that wants to take too much. In this situation, the interesting thing is we have it connected to the devil. So there could be someone in your life that simply has gone one step too far and taken too much. And now you're saying, you know what? I'm going to reclaim power and I'm going to take back my energy, my focus, and put it on something that I care about. To bring an elevated reading to this, never underestimate your ability to have a green thumb, particularly when it comes to money. Some of you are very good at attracting an opportunity or taking something. It's like spinning straw into gold. You can take something that has potential but hasn't been realized until you came along, and you can take it to the next level. Where do you want to put your time and energy right now? What's important to you? Pick and choose wisely and use that green thumb to basically make something magical happen. And in the outcome here, we have Five of Pentacles energy. And this is basically Spirit coming through saying, don't sell yourself short. Because much like I was saying before, sometimes whether it's self-confidence or just history here, the Five of Pentacles is someone who gives more than they get. And sometimes this comes because there's a fear of asking for more, but you deserve more than what we see in this picture. So know that you are worthy. Don't be afraid to articulate what it is that you are worth, and drive a hard bargain when it comes to negotiation. This is also connected to healing, just like the Seven of Pentacles, and it reminds you to take care of yourself and that healing does take time. With the Five of Pentacles, however, there's another nuance here, which is really take care of your feet and legs. A lot of times this can happen if you used to play sports. Maybe you're also at a point in your life where there's muscular or skeletal pain and you want to take extra care of that. Circulation is important. So one thing that I purchased for myself was a little walking pad. It's like a very small treadmill, but in between readings, I'll make sure to get 10 minutes in so that I can get the circulation moving because I sit too much. So you might be like me and you need to get either a walking desk or standing desk, or not a walking desk, that would be interesting, a standing desk or a walking pad. I was combining my thoughts there. When it comes to something where it's only break even, going back to just general opportunities, remember discernment is important. And there may just be things in your life where it's not enough anymore. So you can articulate, I'd love to help, but I need this in order to make it happen. Use your boss hat, use your negotiation hat, and make sure that you're getting what you need. All right, we're going to extend this a little bit more to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, even though we've touched upon this. As I said earlier, I am going to truncate some parts of this a bit, so if you ever need to schedule a private reading with me, you can go to my website for more information. But for now, let's go ahead and dig into the energy of health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. Here we have something that's beautiful. So it comes through, it's the Atlanteans, and it reminds you of the importance of evolution and evolving your vibration, which of course comes through meditation, which is connected to that Temperance card. Legacy, technology, progress, expect acceleration. What I get with this also is to mix it up a little bit. I see that word legacy, and there might be some things in your approach that worked before but may not work now. So you want to lean into new things, technology, progress. This is going to help you get further, farther, not necessarily faster, but more effectively. Because one thing that I want to focus on in this reading is don't just rush for the sake of rushing. Take your time like the tarantula. All right. As I mentioned earlier, the importance of meditation, can't be understated here. Temperance reminds you to slow down, to tune in, and again, to just sort of pace yourself. The Five of Swords and the Devil kind of work in tandem. I forgot to mention, so we'll talk about it now. The Devil in reverse can also be limiting thoughts. And that kind of feeds into this, like, I can't do this or this won't happen. And it's reinforced by the Five of Swords. So who you spend your time with is so important, because this can represent a toxic relationship, a toxic environment, or a toxic workplace. So wherever that toxicity exists, even the thoughts too, wherever it is, that's where you want to have like razor focus and really work on releasing that, because a big part of what we see in this spread is emotional or intellectual. And there's different ways to deal with that: exercise, meditation, or counseling, whatever works best for you. There are new people that are coming into your life, but there are some old relationships here that may be holding you back from kind of jumping into that. So make sure you clear that. We'll talk more about that when we get into relationships, but it still has an effect on your emotions. Seven of Pentacles, like I said, is recovery. Recovery takes time. Five of Pentacles can be a cold, flu, or as I said earlier, joint or muscle pain, usually in the legs and feet. So if you need to go to a orthopedic specialist, that's a great time to do just that. King of Pentacles in reverse, connected to the Devil when we're looking at health, can be eating too much, drinking too much, or having something that's too rich. The King of Pentacles likes to treat himself. I'm going to pull the traditional card again while we're talking. And so there's a time and a place for that splurging, but it's more of like a sometimes thing and not an everyday occurrence. Here's the traditional card. So you can just see, like I said, opulence and going over the top is a part of this. So less is more. That will help you when it comes to all things health related. I do think that friendship and love can play a really great part in balancing things out this month. And so I like what I see with respect to that. And Three of Cups and the King of Pentacles both reverse. Again, eating, drinking, working, exercising, anything done to an extreme actually starts to lose its beneficial aspects. So slow and steady. And as I said earlier, trying new things can also help you when it comes to making a breakthrough. Why don't we pivot now and take a look at wealth? Really interesting. This has popped up a few times this month, but it says grab your monster by the tail. Monster in this case, of course, is probably going to be the devil card. And I mentioned things that can comprise that devil energy, a contract that is unfair, your own self-defeatist thoughts, someone that is trying to get too much but not return, or something that just isn't what it was supposed to be. In this situation, we're going to deal with it, basically. That's what this card is saying. Deal with it in real time so that it doesn't serve as an anchor or a block in the future. Ever so briefly, I want to touch upon the different subcategories here. I'm not going to fully flesh it out, but I'm going to hit the highlights and maybe the lowlights for each of these. If you're presently employed, what I do love is your ability to connect with others, the Three of Cups. I also think that you have the ability to create more from less. So you're resourceful. That's another way of saying that. And again, the connection energy just comes through loud and clear. I do see someone that might be jealous, or as I said earlier, there could just be something that isn't providing what it was supposed to. Someone doesn't deliver on a contract. Something isn't what it was advertised to be. Or you look at something and just think, it's not enough. And that's what we're seeing here as we look towards the future. Be very discerning on contracts. Make sure that you're getting what you need to. Make sure that other people are held to account if they said they were going to do something. Don't spin your wheels or waste your time with people that don't want to hear, that can't take accountability, or aren't ready to roll up their sleeves and do the work. But overall, if you focus on core relationships that are reciprocating, you're going to do well. If you take care of your health, you'll be fine. And just give yourself time to, like I said, move not at a constant sprint, but there's going to be ebbs and flows this month, periods where you have to be much more strategic. As long as you don't give into this sort of distraction or temptation, you'll be fine. Focus on the environments where you're working and make sure that you create proper boundaries and limits there. Okay, if you are an entrepreneur, don't overpromise. It's better for you to be conservative on your estimates for delivery. Let's say you're trying to release something, in the next month or two. Maybe set the actual release date for 3 or 4 months from now. If you can do it early, great, but give yourself extra padding. Don't don't under-deliver and overpromise. That's going to set you up for challenges. Really look at your budget here with the 5 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. It looks like you're starting off okay, but there could be something here that's not worth it. It could be an investment in, new computer system or new technology. Sleep on it a little bit. Do a little bit more research, because at least wait until you're out of a Mercury retrograde before making that major purchase. There might be a better way to do it. Maybe even taking something that has already been used and recycling it or something of that nature rather than spending too much. Be a little bit of conservative when it comes to expenditures. Page of Pentacles in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse. Make sure that you're putting investment back into the business, research development, staff development, appreciation, etc. Speaking of the staff, if there's something going on in the environment that is distracting, whether it's construction or there might even be a person that is creating some level of toxicity or distraction, that has to be dealt with first and foremost. Otherwise, it looks like people are very receptive to what you're putting out there. We just have to focus on money and sort of morale around you, okay? For those of you that are job seeking, can you find something? Yes, you can, but whatever you just applied to, there may be a catch to that, or there may be something where there was a recent rejection. It's actually a form of protection. Really dig deeper into something that looks too good to be true. It just might be. What I see here in the long run also is some of you might be deciding to go back to school, or there's an upgrade here from the Page to the King. You might be holding out for something that really is going to pay you what you need or give you the title that you need, rather than taking a lateral or lower move. Just give it a little bit of time. If you're waiting for that, it will take longer. Lean into the network. People here with the 3 of Cups and the Lovers can help you get where you need to go faster, because there could be something going on that's creating a delay in some of the recent applications. Also, make sure that you're leading with honesty and integrity on the applications and holding others to the same. All right. For those of you that are students, the devil in the environment is a reminder to Avoid temptation, like taking a shortcut, not citing a source, etc. If there's someone around you that's gossiping or doing something wrong, get away from that. Create a boundary. If you need to get other people involved, do that. This isn't your fight to fight alone. You want to work with the assistance of others. Seven of Wands at the center for all of this is reminding you to work smarter, not necessarily harder, not to the point of exhaustion. You can get through this, but something in the environment is a little bit distracting. Some of the internal dialogue that's going through could be distracting. And I feel like with the Seven of Wands, you don't want to add anything additional to this, to your plate at this moment in time. Okay, retirees. You can say no. There might be a lot of open hands right now, particularly with the Five of Pentacles coming through, but you're just on your own sort of rebound right now. So only give what you can. Between the two of these cards is the Six of Pentacles, which is balance and discernment. So you can say yes to some things, but definitely no to others. Focusing on relationships right now is the most important thing, I think. Friendships, your partner, people that you love, peers that you love. That's where the focus should be, and that's a nice segue into love. And we got two cards for love, so let's chat about this. The first one is the Whip, and the second one is the Ring. It's very interesting that these two are back to back. You can't force the connection. So the Ring is representing commitment and follow through and accountability, themes that are really important and seem to kind of keep coming through. So you can't force that. People either show up and deliver, or they show their true colors, in which case you think to yourself, thank you for letting me know. You also may just be feeling extremely overworked, extremely underappreciated in certain core relationships. And again, I think what you're looking for, many of you this month, is that sense of reciprocity and dedication from others. Let's break it down. Let's look at those that are currently partnered. So this is really important for existing partnerships because it says, I'm unafraid and I'm free. It's a blessing to be me. Never feel like you're just lucky to have the other person. It cuts both ways. They're also lucky to have you. And feel free to speak up. If not to your partner, then whom? This is the person that is there with you day in and day out. So I like that the Lovers is in the crowning position. Bring things forward with a sense of love and compassion, and that sets the tone for better communication. There could be some challenges, though. What I see is a partner that could be extremely stressed, or you could be extremely stressed. Make sure that this isn't dribbling into your personal life. Seven of Wands at the center. Again, you're juggling a lot. Make sure that the partner's meeting you halfway and vice versa. It's not always going to be a perfect 50-50 split, but as long as there are days where you're doing more or less, and the same is true for the partner, and it evens out in the end, that's the important thing. Some peace and quiet. Like in my mind, I'm just seeing like a picnic or a movie night, or, a walk in the park. Something that doesn't take a lot of planning would be really nice. That gentle time together can help you rekindle the energy of the Lovers in the Three of Cups. I feel like a little bit of longing energy for this Three of Cups because it's in the past and it's reversed. So it can just be simple together time. It doesn't even have to mean like, intimacy. It's just togetherness. And intimacy is sharing your day and sharing your space. It isn't just a physical connection. It's all those other things. So make time for one another. And realize that you're not the other person's therapist or doctor. So just ask them how you can show up. Do you need someone to talk to? Can I just be there, hold your hand, or whatever it is that they need? And then there may be some things that are needed outside of this relationship, whether it's like medical or psychological, like some support to kind of decompress and help with some of this. Okay, moving onward, for those that are single and looking, can you find someone? Yes. Could be a Capricorn in the environment. There also just might be someone who isn't ready to commit. Three of Cups, Lovers, and Devil shows me someone that loves you but might not be ready to put a ring on it, right? And might not be ready to commit to something longer term. There's some fear holding them back. And so let them be. You deserve better, and you don't need to force that. There might be something better on the horizon. Primarily, though, I'm seeing an important moment in time for you to focus on your health and your finances. So take care of that first. This, by the way, can also be for everybody, not just single and looking. This can be a loved one that needs help. And there's only so much that you can do to help them. And if that's the case, then just know what your limits are and have those healthy boundaries. And again, focusing on what you need to, because you can't be depleted, especially if you're a parent or a caretaker. You need to make sure that you're getting what you need in that equation. So can you find someone? Yes. Is it an optimal time right now? Probably not. Give it until the Five of Pentacles and the Devil situation has been, and I would say the Five of Swords has been dealt with. So getting healthy, clearing out anything in your environment that isn't worth your time and energy, and also just kind of reframing the mental narrative. When that happens, I think the lovers naturally connects and occurs. And we do have an earth sign here, so there could be another earth sign coming in to give you some time and energy, but and affection. But what I see with this is a person that needs and wants a lot because it was reversed. So don't rush anything. Wait for someone who's on the level. Finally, single and happy, good for you. Single and happy, you can really focus on getting a better handle on your finances. You have great magnetic energy this month, so you can actually step into a power or leadership role if you're looking to do just that. But I still think that there's opportunities to be had when it comes to self-confidence, because that self-worth equals net worth, and it also helps pull in new people, places, and opportunities for you. Let's take a look at your destiny card. Again, the second time this has come up this month. We have the sea turtle. It's reversed. It's reminding you to look at things from a different angle. And just like the tarantula, this one gets a reputation for being slow, but sea turtles actually can move pretty quickly. So something that seems like it's slow actually might be moving faster than you imagine. And you blink your eyes and it's done, or you blink your eyes and you're there. So be patient with yourself and be open to the universe surprising you, and something could happen faster, bigger, better, brighter than you imagine. That being said, let's look at one final question, one final card. Whatever it is that you still need a little bit of assistance on, go ahead and ask the universe and we'll see what's coming through. All right, we have the Four of Pentacles and it's in the reverse position. The Four of Pentacles is often something that I call the devil you know, and this gives us a little bit more clarity on what it is that you might need to release. So why does the Four of Pentacles come through? Oftentimes because we feel safe, because it's in front of us, and we think to ourselves, I want more, but it's right there. That's not a good enough reason to move forward with a person, place, or thing that you know it's just going to take more energy than it's worth in the long run. So advocate for more. Don't hold on to something because it's convenient, predictable, or the devil you know. Reach instead for what it is that you really want. This is often a card where the person is protecting their heart by just saying, all right, I'll make do. Don't make do. You're worth so much more. Remember this month, it's about being practical, tactical, and discerning. If you pick and choose well, we have that sort of, it's in the middle, it didn't show up, but between the 7 and the, the 7 and the 5 of Pentacles is the 6, which is achieving better balance. I believe that this month is all about achieving a really great balance, the perfect balance, and your discernment is going to help you do just that. You'll have more than enough, and as we ease into the next month, hopefully even more, okay? Thank you so much for your time and energy today. As I said, all you have to do to show love and support is hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment below as well. Let me know what resonated the most with you. I would also love it if you sign up for my newsletter. It's free. It's on my website. There's the link. While you're there, if you want to continue the conversation and book a reading, you can do that. You can also, from my website, learn more about all of my social media platforms. Basically, it's my handle on everything, Nicholas Ashbaugh. I recently joined Substack as well as everything else that you see here. So if you like to follow me on at least one other, I would love for you to do that. Here on YouTube, actually, one more thing. You can also give back through PayPal if you'd like to. And it's all on my website. Here on YouTube, you can show a little bit of love and support through super stickers, super chat, and memberships. And that really helps more than you might imagine. That is everything for today. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being amazing, for being you. Let's see if Apollo is behind us. He is gone. So we're going to let him be. I'm going to let you move along in this month ahead. Feel free to join me every Sunday for a live stream around 9:15 a.m. Pacific time. Check out my daily readings every day. And of course, these monthly and special topic videos as well. Until I see you again, take care.